I had a good understanding and knowledge, and I was able to actually apply it. And then the second point is highly linked. So it's the first opportunity to use real data on something that isn't just for a market. You know it matters. It's not just a piece of coursework. There's an industry partner who has a vested interest. So it's that first real project to get stuck into. Beyond this, it was my first research paper, first conference presentation, and this really helped my development during my PhD, knowing what to expect once research is done.
So in terms of who are the samurai, what retailers are distinctly looking to do to win at the moment, I think, in the current environment, is that the winners will be people who have access to the most, or at least the best data, have the best ability to garner insight and act on that data, and then can execute best for customers at moment of truth with that insight. And that sounds really simple, but in practice is really difficult. And certainly how to feed innovation into that data and insight piece isn't straightforward. And I think that's where things like CDRC involvement really help.
What's really interesting is that 9% of those students were offered a job by their sponsoring firm and are still with that firm, which is, I think, a really interesting kind of feature of this scheme. That in thinking about these as a talent pool, as a new talent pool, getting the sense of what an individual is like in the workplace over a particular period in working with them as an intern is a great opportunity for a firm to get to understand how that individual might play out as a full-time employee. But what's also interesting is to see that actually another 11% are currently employed by not their original MDS sponsor, but another one. So but this might be the small world factor, of course, in play. But it also shows, again, I think, how alert the scheme has made other MDS sponsors to the talent that's out there and that could be recruited.
The data sets we've been working with in the university are at most 200, 500,000 rows. And they're usually very clean, and we appreciate that sort of the experimentation factor to it. But I must admit, the company really took time in helping me sort of orient myself in terms of industry, because industry will not work at experimental levels. They'll be working at, actually the first data set I got was 2.9. Just so you know, and then I was like, let's reduce it to 1.2. We'll see how we can work with that.
The kind of exposure to clients from movement strategies, sort of via the CDRC scheme, has been, absolutely great. You sort of look at the people who are in my contact list from 4 years, and it really is, not to be sniffed at. It really is a huge list of very high-profile venues and clients that we've worked with, which is, all you could ask for as a graduate or sort of someone quite young in their career, and that all stems from the CDRC giving me the opportunity to sort of open the door at movement strategies.
It's taken about 3 months, and first month and a half-ish, maybe almost 2 months, I spent on site, which was really nice. So from the day one of my project, I joined the company. I had a desk space. I was given a laptop. I joined a variety of meetings. So I really felt like an employee. And the reason it was really nice to do that, because it gave me a very good perspective of, what is company challenges? What do they discuss? What their week looks like. And that gives you a very good idea of their timelines, priorities. So when you plan your research, you can take those into account. So what did it do for me? In some ways, it gave me kind of a bit of a taste of both worlds. I always wanted to be in academia. Like, I felt that I wanted to do a PhD, but I didn't want to be that person who never kind of seen industry, because you never know what you want until you try a couple of things as well. So the project was an amazing way to just do a little bit of both, see what fits in. And for me, research felt like more natural space, but I really wanted to carry on the collaboration.
got the alumni network for the master's dissertation scheme, and we've got evidence that the post-COVID bounce back is very definitely underway, not only in this year's scheme, but looking forward beyond that. And so this network, Sam raised the important point of the need for champions within business organisations and academia. Well, everything's ready, and I think the scheme is very much now firing on all cylinders.